Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I am your fellow labbie here to support you with whatever you need.
Perfect. I think I might have done this not in the correct way because I thought it could be fun more to have an open dialogue with everyone. So I have like a
Okay,
short introduction and then like questions for everyone so we
that's
can
fine.
tailor it however we need to.
Okay,
But
absolutely.
some slides that I thought I would share. Oops. So sorry. One second. Okay, there we go. All right. Um, okay, can we see my screen? Okay, is that annoying? Okay, perfect. So, welcome to Balancing Books and Bedtime, Thriving as a Student Parent. I will give a brief introduction about myself, and then I have some questions for everyone to talk about. So, a little bit about me. My name is Kendall Hipes. I am a 29-year-old single mother to a 3-year-old girl named Everly. I recently just graduated in June with my bachelor's and master's of science in statistics from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
Woohoo,
Um,
congrats.
Yay, thank you. A little bit of a unique experience from my journey. I started schooling at 18, like most kids do, fresh out of high school, and I started at Cal Poly. I completed 3 years of schooling and then, due to unforeseen circumstances, had to withdraw. So after my junior year, I left school. And the longer that I went without returning to school, the more scared that I got to go back, and the fear took over. I thought I would fail, I couldn't do it. I wasn't doing very well towards the end of my original college journey, so the fear of going back was too much. And then I got pregnant and I was working at a casino. I was working nights. It wasn't conducive to being a parent or raising a child. There's no night daycare, and if there is, it's really expensive and not worth it. So I thought now's a better time than any to return back to school. So I started back at Poly in my senior year, super scared because it had been 6 years since I had taken any classes or even did anything with statistics. The imposter syndrome was really high for me. But after returning, I ended up doing really well, and they encouraged me to apply for the master's program, which I ended up getting into and was successful with that. I graduated with a 3.8 GPA in my master's program. Um, but during that, in returning as a student parent, it was 10 times harder to even survive school than the original time that I'd first started. There's juggling schoolwork and being a parent and financial pressures and all of those kinds of things. I think my biggest skill that I learned coming out of school was time management, because if you don't have time management as a student parent, you flounder. So being able to juggle what your course load looked like, being able to finish those on time, and then also, having to pick up your child at a certain time and then coming home and making dinner and bedtime and bath time, and then jumping right back into it after. I think, you know, my biggest thing was sleep was the piece that fell. So I was sleep deprived for years. But I also thought we could all contribute to the conversation. I have some questions. I think everyone's insight is great. So, my first question was, what has been the biggest challenge you faced as a student parent, and what resources have helped you through it? I can start out. So, I think the hardest part for me as a student parent was juggling class times. So the children's center that my daughter goes to was open from 7:30 to 5:30. Of course, all of my classes happen to be 4 to 6. So finding after school childcare and support to be able to go to those classes and be successful in those classes was really difficult. Luckily at Cal Poly, the student parent aid is really great. So I had, and especially in my college and field, my professors allowed me to bring my daughter to class if I needed to, which was very rare. I also made a lot of support through the Children's Center. So I met people who could help me with watching my daughter for 30 minutes until I got out of class. I also had professors um, allow me to join in on Zoom so I could participate in class if I wasn't able to make it. I think that's a big thing that maybe not a lot of other schools have is some professors and students aren't very conducive and helpful to student parents, whereas those are becoming laws and regulations that are there to help student parents is you have to accommodate them. It's like a disability. You can't, discriminate or whatever because they don't have um, the same benefits and ease of access as regular students. I can just jump to the next one because we don't have that much time. Okay, so how do you balance academic work with parenting responsibilities? Are there any routines or tools that have made a difference for you? I think this one is not my strongest suit. It was very hard to balance those things. I think I worked a lot. In my master's program, ended up taking out a loan because it's really difficult to try to balance work and a thesis and parenting and then a job on top of that. So that was a saving grace for me. Um, but I think too, and like I mentioned earlier, time management. If you don't have appropriate time management, then there's no way to get everything done. I think school in general is already a lot of work, and then tack on being a parent on top of that. So, a planner. I always had a planner, and I would focus on everything that I could get done during the day. And then after at night, I would put my daughter to bed and then do the rest of the schoolwork that I needed to get done. I tried to get everything done early so there was no pushing deadlines or not making it to class on time or anything. So I think that one is still a work in progress, but I somehow made it. There was lots of tears in the process. Um, and then how have you built a support network either on campus or outside of school, and what roles has that played in your success? I
I did
think
just want to mention that Priscilla agreed with you on the routine piece. She said I put everything in my calendar, even lunch to go to the bathroom. Routines are super helpful. So she thrives in that place.
perfect. I didn't even realize there was chat. So sorry. Okay.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. How have support networks? So I think that was one thing that was really big for me coming into school is when I got pregnant, it was not intentional. It was a very happy surprise. And at that point in my life, I was not surrounded by other moms or people who were looking to get pregnant. So I did not have a lot of mom friends. I wanted to meet moms or parents with kids similar age to my daughter so I could, establish those friendships for her and also meet people in similar situations to me. So as I was going to the daycare, I started meeting other moms who were also student parents and, some who were not student parents. And the ability to help each other out, whether we had weird class times, whether it was at night or final schedule was 7 in the morning and the daycare didn't open at 7:30. Being able to talk to other moms and to, swap daycare and babysitting and that kind of stuff so we could study for finals was crucial in my success. I think if I didn't have the friends and the people who were there to help me through those hard times, I probably would not have done as well as I could have in school. Um, because my family lives 3 hours away, so I don't have a ton of support aside from the support that I built throughout Cal Poly. So it was super beneficial. I think too, um, the at the daycare that she goes to, there's student staff who work in child development and that kind of stuff. So, meeting those students and their willingness to help too in babysitting, that kind of stuff was really, really important to my success also. So I think networking in general and putting yourself out there and meeting other people, I think we forget how willing other people are to help and how willing you are to help. And if you're not, asking or conversing or trying to do anything to help yourself and you're just stuck in a bubble, then you'll never be able to find that support group. So I think reaching out is really, really important in your success. Okay. And we're frozen. Hold on, sorry. Okay. What's one accomplishment, big or small, that you're proud of as a student parent? In my first year back at Poly in my bachelor's, I ended up making Dean's List every quarter and got a 4.0. So that was really exciting. And it definitely helped my imposter syndrome because I for sure thought I was going to fail and flounder. I didn't think I could do it. All the talk, the negative self-talk that we have when doing something scary. So that definitely helped my confidence. And then a non-school related accomplishment that I was really proud of is I potty trained my daughter during school, which I was so scared to do. And I was like trying to wait till the summer, but there was just one day where she wanted to change her diaper 17 times immediately when she peed. So I was like, it's time, we have to do it. So we did it in a weekend and it was amazing and I felt so accomplished. So that was my other big accomplishment aside from the degrees and that kind of stuff. And then how do you take care of your own well-being while balancing parenting and school? Are there any small things you do to avoid burnout? This one was very tricky for me because I did get burnt out, and I feel like as a student parent, you come last. School and your child and making ends meet to keep housing and that kind of stuff take precedent over everything. But when you're going and working so hard, you end up not being able to prioritize yourself at all. So I think it's really important. I like to meditate. I think there are so many benefits to meditation, and even just fitting in 10 minutes a day, either when you first wake up or after you go to bed, is really important and can drastically shift your mindset and your ability to be patient with your child and, have patience with yourself and juggle the 27 tasks that you have to do every day. Um, and then I think too, if you can make time for even an hour on the weekend or something to do something you enjoy, I think it really helps give back to yourself almost so you're not um feeling like there's no end in sight or there's no light at the end of the tunnel. So I think even just doing one small thing for yourself a week is really important.
Yeah, I think Priscilla would agree with you. She said that's a hard one. I think I just kept and keep going. I think I wait for other people to acknowledge me or praise me, and that's usually enough until I get my degree and can afford more time and money to treat myself.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky one because I noticed that happening to myself a lot is I forgot to take care of myself and then I would have a breakdown and cry and felt like I couldn't do it and then I realized that, we do matter and we do have to prioritize ourselves a little bit. And then, oh, only 1 minute. Okay, financial challenges. I think this one was a hard one for me. In my bachelor's, I tried to juggle working and school. Um, and it was a lot. I was definitely drowning. And then in my master's, I made the decision to take out a loan to finish my education, which sucks because now I'm in debt. But I also think that it's an option that sometimes is overlooked. And I think it's a great option if you, want to have that extra time to be able to focus on school and be able to take your child to daycare and do all those other things and not be stressed with the financial pressures too. And I will leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I highly want to recommend You Need a Budget as well as a really great app for anyone who needs budgeting support.
Oh,
Um, so lovely. Um, Thank you so much, Kendall. We really appreciate your feedback and your story, your vulnerability, and your courage. Um, is there anything else we wanted to chat about before we go back to the main room?
Yes, thank you, Kendall. Thank you for sharing your story.
thank you.
ChatGPT for budgeting. I also like the Pomodoro method too. That's been helpful for time management.
Oh, I
Like
don't know
30
that.
minutes on, 5 minutes off, 30 minutes on, 5 minutes, change the laundry. So, yeah. All
Thanks.
right. See you in the main room.
Bye.
Welcome back.
I'm not sure about anyone else, but I almost didn't leave my breakout room. We were having such a great conversation, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to close the rooms. And didn't want to do that. So we could have gone on and on for a while. So I hope that everyone enjoyed their breakouts as much as I did. Um, you know that there is absolutely nothing like being able to be in these conversations and, have this dialogue and the ability to do perspective taking with one another. So this has been such a treat. So we only have 3 minutes left, but before we wrap up, we want to hear you all's takeaways and closing thoughts through our Chatterfall activity. Again, want to know from you all, what is one action you can take with you today to better support student parents in your role? Hold it for a second. We're going to let everyone get a chance to type. I noticed that our How to Make Legislation Happen room had like almost a dozen people in it. So I'm expecting, a lot of advocacy and legislation coming down the pike. Um, all right. So wrap up those thoughts, and we're going to do our Chatterfall in three, in two, in one, go. Advocacy, listening. Yes, that is so important. Keeping up the momentum. Teresa, I see you. We're going to celebrate you all tomorrow for Spark's first year birthday. Make that legislation. Yes, learning to earning opportunities, so important. Contact Congress. Yes, please do that. Advocate. More advocacy opportunities. Advocate. Okay, this is amazing. So we're going to have lots of student parent advocacy on the horizon and just keep encouraging each other and making these connections. So as we wrap up, want to let you all know what's happening next with us in Spork. We have two cannot miss webinars coming up, one in October, one in November. Next month, in just 2 weeks, we're going to have our student parents and AI session. Our very own Senior Vice President, Don Frazier, he is going to be leading that session. He's over all of our AI innovation work. We know that AI is just changing the world and can also change student parents' worlds. So you want to make sure to join that. If anyone can drop the link in the chat, that'd be amazing. If not, I will in a second. And then also, we are joined today by a nationally renowned data researcher, Miss Dr. Marianne Demario. You absolutely have to be at this session. She's leading a session for us from research to reality, enhancing support for student parents. So this is another session you don't want to miss. It's November 12th. Both sessions are from 2 to 3. And then we have an exciting product that we're rolling out, free product that we're rolling out. We have the first of its kind professional development for higher ed professionals that we're making publicly available in January. So we have an asynchronous course going through all of the ins and outs of how to support student parents with what's in your locus of control, within your syllabus and your local policies. And so you're not going to want to miss that as well. And this is a free course, so stay on the lookout for that. Stay involved with our community. If you go to the next slide, there'll be a QR code in case you are not already in our community, but this is the best way to be in touch with us, to RSVP for events. Just be in community with other higher ed professionals, other passionate leaders, student parents, and be able to connect and have this exclusive content. I see people registering already. I'm getting the notification. So great job registering. Keep those registrations coming. We cannot wait to see you in October, in November, and then January for all of our new webinars and sessions. So we hope you enjoyed today and look forward to continuing to engage with you all. Rebecca, Brianna, is there anything else?
Yes, before everyone leaves, we hosted a giveaway on our Instagram account, and the giveaway was the winner got DoorDash or Instacart as their prize. So the two winners that we have is Brianna McCormick and Christina Fleming. I'm not sure if they're in the meeting, but if they are, congratulations. And if not, I'll touch base with you on Instagram. So thank you so much for participating. And thank you all so much for being here. I have enjoyed this event. I hope you have enjoyed this event as well. And just continue this work forward to make the student parent world a greater place to be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.